Hey all, Gregor here with a brand new video. This time we're doing something a little bit different. A question that I get asked a lot by newer players is, what should I be saving my resources for? So let's say you hit level 475, you unlock Series Pool 3, or you just hit 500 and you start getting those collector's tokens. What should I be saving those for? I am going to give you a list of my top 10 cards that you should be saving for as a newer player and why they are so beneficial to you. I will go beyond just 10. We're going to go all the way to 20, but I just wanted to give you a solid list of cards that you should be looking out for as a new player that will help you. These are based off of a number of things. I actually asked a bunch of people on Twitter. So this was what I was asking for within this Marvel Snap community. So I said, question for the Snap community: what are the top 10 Marvel Snap Series 5 cards that you would recommend a new player save resources for? I'm looking for cards that open new archetypes and that provide flexibility. Not looking for bias in specific archetypes. This will be for an upcoming YouTube video. So this is Series 5 cards. These are premium ones that you would pay 6,000 collector's tokens for, or you would be using spotlight keys for. And I got a bunch of really good answers from the community, and it was really, really hard to break it down into the top 10. But we did so, and I will tell you my reasoning why. If you enjoy this video, if you get something from it, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things so the algorithm knows to push out the video to more people and that more new players can engage with it, and hopefully it helps them as well. Thank you all for watching. So at the top of the list at number 1, I have Arishem. Although I do not enjoy Arishem, the reason being it feels like you're cheating a bit with the extra energy that you get, the +1 max energy plus the 12 cards that you get to put in. I recommend it for new players because it gives them access to cards they won't normally have. Those 12 random cards that they get, those will be cards that a new player won't have access to for a really long time. And it also gives a new player the chance to experiment and find the kind of deck archetypes that they enjoy. Really, it's like, oh, cool, I get a kind of taste test all of these different deck types and different cards and see what I like, so I know what I want to spend for in the future. At number 2, we have High Evo. The reason I say High Evo, although High Evo isn't really meta right now, High Evo is great because it essentially gives you a brand new deck to play. So High Evo's ability is, at the start of the game, unlock the potential of your cards with no abilities. So cards like Wasp now become a new card. Misty Knight, Shocker, Cyclops, The Thing, Abomination, Hulk, all of those cards become brand new cards that you can use. It's really, really solid, and I think that High Evo is kind of going to get a second breath of life within the next month or so, just with some of the upcoming cards. That is my best estimate. So I would say, yeah, High Evo is definitely worth getting as a newer player. Up next, we have Nico Minoru. Nico Minoru is arguably the best one-cost card in the game. I call her the Swiss Army knife of cards. She can give you a bunch of different abilities. She has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So basically, she's 7 cards in one, which is amazing. She can, on reveal after you play your next card, it becomes a demon. On reveal after you play your next card, destroy it to draw 2 cards. This is arguably the best spell that she has. On reveal after you play your next card, move it 1 location to the right. On reveal after you play your next card, give it +2 power. On reveal after you play your next card, replace that card's location. On reveal after you play your next card, add a copy of it to your hand. This is probably the second best spell. And then last, on reveal after you play your next card, double this card's power. That could be especially powerful if you can get multiple procs or processes to go off, procedures, and it will allow Nico Minoru to get very, very big. Fantastic card, would highly recommend for new players. Up next after Nico, we have Hawkeye Kate Bishop. Hawkeye Kate Bishop is a 2-cost card, and her ability is on reveal, add 2 arrows to your hand. Similar to Nico, she provides a lot of flexibility with the cards, and she gives you cards that you can play on your energy curve. So you could get an acid arrow on reveal, switch sides. That's a 1, -2. On reveal after you play your next card, move it to this location. So that acts as a move for your next card. Basic arrow, on reveal after you play a card at this location, next turn +3 power. And then the Pim arrow, which is ongoing. If your side of this location is full, +3 power. Highly recommend Hawkeye Kate Bishop. After Hawkeye Kate Bishop, I would recommend Agent Venom, hoping that no changes happen in the OTA because he is kind of busted right now. Agent Venom is an on reveal, set the power of all cards in your deck to 4. Now, a lot of people ask me, why is that good? There are a lot of cards that have low power, but they can progressively get bigger. And starting a card at 4 that may have started at 0 and progressively gets bigger is a big, big thing. It allows you to do a lot, and it's only a 2 cost. So again, this is a flexible card that can fit into many different deck types and just gives you a ton of value. So unfortunately, my prediction came true. The OTO, it did change Ancient Venom. He is now a 2/5, so he did get a slight buff to his power, but he did get a nerf in respect to his ability. So now on reveal, set the power of all cards in your deck to 3 instead of 4. Agent Venom, still a really good card. Top 10 worthy, arguable now. We'll see where he ends up going. I'm going to still keep him within where I did on my list just because I've already done the video and I don't want to take the time to change it up the entire thing for one card. But I still think Agent Venom still provides a lot of value. Arguably not within worth saving top 10. That's up to you. We'll figure that out based off of where the meta ends up shifting. But I still think he's arguably a very solid card. Now he's essentially fast, but for your entire deck. And again, he did get a slight buff to his power. So I still think he's worth checking out. I think he'll still do really good within like bounce lists and things like that. After Agent Venom, I would recommend Red Guardian. Red Guardian is a tech card. What he does is on reveal, afflict the lowest power enemy card here with -2 power and remove its text. This could work for something like Dracula, for Wong, for any of those cards that a opponent sets up early. You can just take all the wind right out of their sails. It's fantastic. Angela, perhaps, or Athena. This just shuts down your opponent's move early. Would highly recommend Red Guardian. After Red Guardian, I would have to say Cassandra Nova. Cassandra Nova is absolutely fantastic, especially against Arasham. On reveal, steal 1 power from each card in your opponent's deck. So the more cards they have in their deck, the more power Cassandra Nova is going to get. It is Affliction. It puts your opponent at a disadvantage. And then also, it helps you the earlier you get it off. So let's say you're playing a deck with like Korg or Rock Slide. You could put more cards into their deck to do more Affliction. She's just a fantastic card and can work within a variety of decks. She still sees a lot of play, even currently as Arasham is seen less these days. Highly good card. Yeah, just a fantastic card. Would recommend you grab. After Cassandra Nova, I have to say it goes to Eliath at number 8. Eliath is such a great 6-cost card. On reveal, remove the text from your all unrevealed enemy cards here. So the trick with Eliath is getting tempo or priority early on. You put bigger cards in the lanes than your opponent does, and then on the last turn where you know they're working on a combo, you lay it down and the giant fart cloud just absolutely demolishes whatever their play was. They're left devastated. They can't do anything. He's just a good 6 cost to have in a lot of different decks. But again, you're kind of going for tempo style decks where you want to build lanes bigger than your opponent, take priority, and then play this because it doesn't do anything if you don't have priority last turn. When I say priority, I'm saying which player gets to go first, and that is based off of total power spread across whoever has more lanes, more power in more lanes. At number 9, we have Marvel Boy. The reason I say Marvel Boy is because you have access to a lot of 1-cost cards early on. The fact that he gives 3 of your 1-cost cards plus 3 power, I mean, you just play this with Squirrel Girl, and you're getting, each of those squirrels are getting +1 power every turn. It's ridiculous. You kind of just go out of control with it. And Zoo is very, very accessible for new players. Zoo is usually what I recommend for new players who are just starting as a deck type to try and hit infinite. It's what I recommend most people climb with when they're first starting. After Marvel Boy, at number 10, we have my girl Gwenpool. Now, the reason I chose Gwenpool, she has a really cool ability. On reveal, pick a random card in your hand 3 times, give it +2 power each time. She's a flexible 4-cost option you can put in a lot of different decks, and she spreads out power in a way that your opponent doesn't know where it's going. So even if they're doing the math, they can't account for which card gets what power. It could be that a single card got all 3 of those hits, so it got +6 power. They don't have a way of accounting for that. That is just good. She's a flexible option. She's a cool card. Highly recommend grabbing her if you can. So those are the top 10. I wanted to go beyond that. I made a top 20, but if you already have some of these and are looking for other suggestions, I got you. So at number 11, we have Grandmaster. Now, Grandmaster is another 2-cost. You're seeing I'm putting a lot of low-cost cards that give you lots of potential moves and combos that you can do. So Grandmaster's ability is on reveal, move one of your other on reveal cards from here to the middle location. Its ability happens again. So what you're going to want to do is set up an on reveal on either side, and then you can use Grandmaster to have it go off a second time. This works great in so many different deck types because almost every deck uses some kind of on reveal. And you can get value out of that on reveal, whether it be with a Hood, for example, and getting a second demon for free, or using Nico and getting another Nico spell to go off, or a Black Widow. I even see him used in discard. I see him used in everything. He's very, very flexible. And at 2-3, he's pretty solid stat-wise. So definitely worth picking up Grandmaster if you see him come through your store. Number 12, Madam Web. Now, Madam Web is really, really great for move deck types. Madam Web's ongoing ability is you can move one of your other cards away from here each turn. So you can choose wherever those cards go. This is like an easy way to buff up cards like Human Torch, Multiple Man. You could do all different kinds of stuff. Like you can do Vulture. I see a lot of different move stuff. If you like the move deck archetype, highly recommend picking her up. She is, yeah, she's great. Absolutely solid card. Seeing her played a lot, even sometimes in stuff that's not necessarily move. I've been seeing her played a lot. Again, another 2-cost card. Next up, at number 13, we have Sage. Sage is so good. The number of times I've won games with Sage, I don't have enough fingers on my hand. She's so good. On reveal, +2 power for each different power among all other cards here. Now, originally, I read this as Wolfsbane's ability, which is for each other card that you have here, get +2. But no, it's both sides, your opponent's and yours. So for each other card that has a differing power, she gets +2. And you can get it to go off more than once. And she works in negative, a deck type I am very, very fond of. My newest video is a negative deck guide. So like, I love Sage, but she can be used in Surfer. She can be used in so many different deck types. She is so strong. She goes way taller than your opponents can usually account for. Use her in combination with like Iron Man and you're golden. You are so set. Sage, fantastic card. Definitely worth picking up. At number 14, we have Thena. Now, Thena is a card that grows based off of playing exactly 2 cards per turn. She's another 2-drop. So you would play her with cards like Kitty and then another card. For example, you could do like a Hood or, you know, something that keeps you playing 2 every time, low-cost cards, and she's getting +3 power every time. She can get quite big. She is what we would call a mid-range card. You usually fit her within mid-range decks with like Angela and things like that. She can become quite big and become one of the tallest 2-drops in the game for how tall she scales if you are playing that exactly 2 cards per turn. After Thena, I would recommend X23. Actually, I might put X23 above Thena, to be honest. But let's just say for the sake of this, number 15 is X23. X23 is a ramp card within Destroy. Destroy is very accessible for newer players. When this is discarded or destroyed, regenerate it at a random location, and you get +1 energy next turn, which is great. Allows you to play more cards on your energy curve, and you can destroy her multiple times. The reason I'm saying destroy and not discard, we don't really see X23 used in discard that often. It's even kind of rare for us to see Wolverine used in discard, but her and Destroy just play so well. And like I said, the cards for Destroy are very accessible for newer players. After X23, I would recommend US Agent, another 2-drop. You're noticing there are most of the cards I'm recommending are like 2-cost cards. It's because those are the cards that you can play the most on curve. Like that and 1-drops, but mostly they're 2-drops. US Agent, ongoing 4, 5, and 6-cost cards here have -4 power. That is huge. US Agent can hold down a lane all by himself. If you're playing against Tribunal, you can shut down an entire Tribunal lane with US Agent. Just the US Agent. They have Iron Man, they have Onslaught, they have Tribunal in that same lane. They are going to go negative because of US Agent. Or, you know, very low. Spread across all that power, you just absolutely destroy. Again, he's flexible because he's a 2-cost. You can fit him in a variety of decks. He's really strong. Definitely recommend grabbing US Agent. At number 17, honestly, my favorite card in Snap, even though he is not what he once was, Jeff the Baby Landshark. The reason I say this is because cards like Professor X don't do what they once did, which was lock down a lane. Now you can use Move to get into a lockdown lane. You can use Madam Web to get cards into other lanes, similar to what Jeff used to do. Sandman no longer makes it so you can only play a single card. It now makes it so cards cost more. So Jeff has lost some of his value, but he's still just a flexible 2-cost card that you can use and you can move. So a 2/3, he's not going to get hit by Killmonger. And he's a cute look at him. Look at this guy. Look at his little face. How do you not love that? Best boy Jeff forever. After Jeff, I'm going to recommend Annihilus. Now, Annihilus opens up a new deck archetype called Junk or Clog. They're used interchangeably. But what it does is your cards with power below 0 switch sides, destroy those cards that can't. You are clearing space for yourself unless they have armor down or something like that. But it flips cards that are negative on your side. So usually the play is to play cards like Debris, then Hazmat, or like maybe you go Hood and then Annihilus the Hood over, or Sentry, for example. He creates the Void. You use Annihilus to flip the Void over. You can also put Viper in there as well. He just opens up a package where you screw up your opponent because you clog their lanes and they can't play. They can't win those lanes. You just win that way. After Annihilus, I would recommend my favorite big dumb idiot, Red Hulk. Red Hulk is a 6/10 when your opponent ends a turn with unspent energy +3 power, if in hand or in play. So if you have him in your hand, he is constantly getting +3 power for every time your opponent has unspent energy. And it tends that your opponent has unspent energy a lot. If they're smart, they try to play all of their cards on curve to prevent Red Hulk from getting that +3 power. But even then, it can be difficult for them to compete. Red Hulk can just keep going and going and climbing. I mean, he gets bigger than Blob most times, which is why he's my favorite big dumb idiot. After Red Hulk at number 20, we have Mockingbird. Mockingbird is a 6/9, and she costs 1 less for each of your cards in play that didn't start in your deck. Think Squirrel Girl. Think Thanos and the stones that Thanos creates. Think Arishem. Lots of ways that you can get other cards. Doctor Doom. Token cards. Cards that create tokens on the board. Those all lower the cost of Mockingbird. Mysterio. Mockingbird is fantastic. I still see a lot of play. Also, she falls below Shang-Chi range because she's at 9 power and not 10. Great card. Again, worth saving for. Thank you to our monthly Kofi subscribers. For $10 a month, you can help support the stream as well as content creation. Also get shout outs on all YouTube videos. I will include a link in the description if you are interested in doing so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Big shout out to Calvin Rankin. Those are, I guess, the top 20 cards I would recommend saving for as a new player. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Would there be any that you would add? Feel free to let me know what you think and give me your reasoning why. Don't just say, Gregor, you're wrong. This is the right card. Tell me why you think that, and I am totally we can talk about it in the replies. I would love to have your feedback on the video if this was helpful to you. Again, if you like the video, please remember to like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. And if I don't catch you around, please remember to take care of yourself. Please remember to eat food, drink water, take your meds, get enough sleep, and remember the world is better with you in it. I'm gonna try and have another video out soon, but take care of yourself, friends. Until next time.